Falcons feeling pretty good about that defensive effort coming out of the win over Lafayette as we welcome Michael Burwell from Toledo Blade. And they left one touchdown in. And Eddie George, kind of said, well, we got to look back at almost the original sin, the penalty that helped set up that drive. But you take away that one touchdown, it was a dominating defensive effort. There were some question marks about this defense.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in that front seven, definitely had some questions. Some good transfers coming in, and some guys who had been here at BG really needed to step up. And that defense, that front seven looked really, really good. I think only allowed about 50 rushing yards, less than 200 yards overall. They really made some plays. You look at the linebacking core. I mean, Dorian Pringle, my goodness, he was all over the field. A few tackles for loss. Gideon Lampron, I mean, he was outstanding at Dayton last year. I think he's gonna do excellent this year at BG too. So some really good things out of that defense early on, which you really wanted to see.
Close to 70 players played for the Falcons in the win over the Leopards, and that was part of the game plan, part of the reason why they went a little bit vanilla. They wanted to get a lot of game film on some guys, particularly offensively, and we saw some interesting combinations of that offensive line.
Yeah, for sure. You had the starting five who, has played a lot of football. Really expect them to play. A couple guys who haven't really seen as much action. Alexis Sanchez, James Thomas. They got some playing time and meaningful playing time. They came in maybe second, third quarter, got some good series in. So, I mean, Coach George kind of needs to see what he has, and you never know what could happen with injuries. So it was interesting to see, the offensive line kind of shake up, but honestly, it could only, be good going forward for them.
Competition ramps up this week as they go from the FCS Lafayette to Power 4 Cincinnati, playing down in Cincinnati, a Bearcats team that lost last week to Nebraska. So there's questions about the Cincinnati team as well. They're kind of picked as a middle-of-the-pack team in the Big 12, a winnable game for the Falcons, certainly.
Yeah, for sure. And the way they've played against Power 4 teams the last couple of years, you never know what can happen. So, Cincinnati's kind of struggled in their transition to the Big 12, but, I mean, they're going to have some weapons. They're going to have some good players. Quarterback Brennan Sorsby, really good threat with his legs. BG's obviously going to have to really, bring their A game. Defense is going to have to play well. And, maybe if it can be a low-scoring game into that fourth quarter, you never know what could happen. Get big special teams play again. So they can definitely keep it close. I think it can definitely be a good game.
It's an interesting schedule for the Falcons where they don't have to leave the state of Ohio until week 4, and even then they're only going to Louisville. They really aren't traveling a whole lot this year. Hopefully that changes in December, January, the nice bowl trip, but really a chance to stay in the heart of the territory.
Yeah, for sure, and that's pretty cool for fans too. They can make the trip down to Cincinnati and stay here the following week for Liberty. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Kind of a second version of the I-75 battle this week with Cincinnati, but no, it'll nice little stretch here where they're not flying halfway across the country or going all the way across the country. So pretty cool for fans to be able to see them quite a few times up close.
Yeah, Falcons and Bearcats. Bowling Green has never lost to Cincinnati. 4-0, all 4 of those meetings coming in the mid-'90s, so it is a different era of college football, but it's interesting that they have never lost to the Bearcats.
Yeah, it really is, and I had to look that up a couple times too, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, but yeah, all in the early '90s, so obviously that was many years ago. So yeah, it'll be I think it'll be a battle on Saturday down in Cincinnati.
Yeah, so long ago, Cincinnati was an independent football team at that point in time. Keep in mind, former St. John's quarterback Brady Lichtenberg, he is the backup quarterback for the Bearcats. He has stayed the entire time in Cincinnati. Got a lot of playing time last year. Didn't get any playing time against Nebraska. Of course, that's a close game, but he is certainly a valuable asset for the Bearcats. I want to thank our guest, Michael Burwell from the Toledo Blade. Of course, he held plenty of Falcons coverage online and on the print editions of the Blade throughout this week. Michael, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.